Donald Trump's war on crime just turned into something much darker, and this time the Pentagon is admitting it. In a stunning new revelation, U.S. officials have confirmed that under Trump's orders, American forces launched deadly military strikes without even knowing who they were killing. These weren't theoretical mistakes, these were real operations with real deaths. And for the first time, Congress is using two words the Trump camp fears most: war crimes. The story you're about to hear is jaw-dropping, not only because it exposes how recklessly Trump wielded military power, but because it shows how the Pentagon is now trying to clean up the mess. But first, let's rewind to the moment Trump started fantasizing about unchecked power abroad and at home.
This is a new tune for Donald Trump anyway about the third term. He does like to flirt with it. And, Steve Bannon was doing an interview with The Economist. It wasn't like he was doing a live stream with Alex Jones. He was actually sitting down with The Economist, and he said he will be president again in 2028. There are lots of ways that they can do this. And the reporter interviewing him said, well, what about the 22nd Amendment? And he said, we've got a plan. So Trump has demonstrated that he doesn't leave easily, I guess, when he lost a free and fair election in 2020. So I think there is reason to be concerned about that. But I want to focus on this Asia trip. The fact that our allies continue to have, I guess, gotten the memo that Donald Trump is only satiated, made happy, whatever it is, if you treat him like a toddler playing dress up and, give him the crown that he wishes for or have a merch stand for them. I think it's a really sad reflection of the state of our allyship across the world. We'll see what South Korea actually invests back into America, but they have been scared of Donald Trump and what he's been threatening since his first term, when he said, for instance, that he's going to remove 10,000 troops, take them out of South Korea, which obviously leaves them incredibly vulnerable.
That's the authoritarian mindset right there. Rule without limits, act without consequence. And now, we're learning what happens when that same mindset is applied to military command, where the rules of engagement are supposed to protect both soldiers and civilians.
We had flashcards, and they'd go through the flashcards and pick people on the flashcards. This included an American citizen and the American citizen's two children. And I think nobody really made the allegation that any of them were carrying arms. They were sympathetic to terrorists. They had ideas that most civilized people disagreed with. But at the same time, they weren't in the middle of combat or engaged in combat. But the reason it's important is because we seem to have different standards. When a Democrat's in charge, Republicans, some were up in arms over this. Now that a Republican's doing it, Democrats are rightly up in arms against Trump, but some of them forget or are willing to forget that, their hero, President Obama, was doing it as well. But you're right, that legal framework and that precedent has allowed President Trump to say, look, everybody does this. They're terrorists. And it's this circular argument. Who are terrorists? Well, the people I tell you who are terrorists. And what are terrorists? They're people who kill people in a terroristic way. And they're terrorists because I tell you they do this. It's this circular argument with no proof presented.
That circular logic, they're terrorists because I say so, is now at the heart of what may become one of the biggest scandals in modern U.S. military history. Because the Pentagon just admitted that under Trump's orders, they launched strikes without identifying the targets at all. According to a classified briefing first revealed to members of Congress, Pentagon officials confessed that they carried out attacks on more than a dozen boats across the Pacific and Caribbean without confirming a single identity. Representative Sarah Jacobs confirmed this to CNN, saying the Pentagon, quote, did not need to positively identify individuals to justify the strikes. That means entire crews, fishermen, civilians, maybe even Americans, were wiped out based solely on suspicion. Representative Jason Crow, a veteran and Democrat from Colorado, said he walked out of the briefing, quote, without understanding how the Pentagon can call this legal force. Republicans were just as stunned. Members from both parties reportedly asked for a written legal rationale and got nothing, not even a page. Pentagon officials refused to elaborate, citing ongoing legal review. Translation, they know they're in trouble. Meanwhile, Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly dismissed the outrage as a, quote, distraction from the government shutdown. Yes, she called allegations of unlawful killings a distraction. But under international law, the Pentagon's own admission confirms potential violations of the Geneva Conventions, because launching lethal strikes without target identification qualifies as an illegal use of force. In plain terms, these are war crimes. Let's be clear, this is not about politics, it's about humanity. These strikes didn't take place in active war zones. They were carried out under Trump's war on drugs, where anyone on a boat could be labeled a trafficker and killed instantly. No trials, no warnings, no oversight. This blurs every line between policing, counterterrorism, and murder. A strategy that has one goal: unchecked power. And the most disturbing part? Trump's defenders are already spinning this as, quote, tough leadership. That's not strength. It's state-sanctioned lawlessness. The Pentagon just admitted what Trump's critics warned all along. His presidency didn't just undermine democracy, it endangered human life under the banner of nationalism. Every death from these blind strikes is a reminder of what happens when a government treats war like a campaign prop. If there's one lesson here, it's that no democracy survives when its leaders can kill without knowing or caring who dies. If you believe in accountability, transparency, and the rule of law, stay informed. Follow the channel, hit the notification bell, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because holding leaders to justice isn't partisan, it's patriotic.